I want to talk about something interesting today. I've been living in Kazakhstan for the past 5 years, and today we are going to talk about things I have learned in the course of these years I have lived in this beautiful country. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If you are here for the first time, my name is Abraham Salako. I am a designer and educator living in Kazakhstan. So I think we should start with the not so good ones. Before we start, you should take note that this is solely my experience and it is definitely biased, which means someone else's experience might be different. A man's food is another man's poison. I want to start with one, which is the size of the country. Kazakhstan is big. It's the ninth biggest or ninth largest country in terms of landmass in the world. Here comes my preference, which is I hate traveling long distances. So in Kazakhstan, you get to travel hours. By traveling hours, I mean maybe 24 hours, 20 hours from a city to another city. We have short distances too, but I just hate long distance traveling. And for example, people coming from the likes of the UK, some smaller countries might find it interesting to travel long distance journeys, especially if you're not used to that. Number two is the fact that it's freezing cold in Kazakhstan. I think we have almost 6 months of cold temperature in Kazakhstan. Wow, 6 months. And let me put this into perspective. Your freezer at home freezes at around -18 or -15 to -20. There's a city in Kazakhstan called Pavlodar back in 2021 or 2020 got to -40 degrees Celsius, and that is how freezing cold it gets. Now, if you survive that, that might not be the problem. There's another problem. The problem is the fact that during the early days of this freezing, which is around, let me say, October, November, we have these ice. You know that saying that goes, all glitters are not gold? Yeah, take that serious. When you walk in the street and you see a shiny floor, something shiny, avoid it. Because these ice guys, I call them bone breakers. They will break your bones. The third thing I took note of coming into Kazakhstan is the fact that Kazakhstan does not make available credit facilities for foreigners unless you have your permanent residence. Other countries, like I have family in the UK, other countries that with their work visa, they have access to credit facilities. These might not have a direct impact on me. I'm from Nigeria and basically we didn't have that either. But in a way, I am accustomed to this. I'm used to this savings culture. A lot of the things I try to acquire, I get them using saving up and buying them with my cash. It would be easier if people around have access to credit to just live life in a way. So that's one thing I've taken note of. My number 5 point is where it gets beautiful, extremely beautiful, and that's the fact that Kazakh weddings are amazing and expensive. I'm Nigerian. We had close to 1,000 people at my sister's wedding and back in Nigeria, and coming to Kazakhstan, although the numbers might not tally, but it's expensive and beautiful at the same time. And one thing I took note of is the Kazakh wedding, they're like split into 3 or 4. You have the engagement, they have the court wedding, then they have the release party. The release party is the situation where the bride's parents organize a wedding, like a real wedding party to let the wife go. And also we have the acceptance party or something for the groom's parents to receive the wife. And it's beautiful. I've had the opportunity to be at a groom's party and recently a bride's party, and they both seem the same in a way. One question I keep asking myself, and I hope a Kazakh is watching this to answer the question, is that how does it feel like as a as a bride or groom uh, in a wedding that your people are not there. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Okay, let me put this in this perspective. How do I feel when I go to a wedding that everybody there are just my bride's family? Then my wife, when everybody there is just my groom's family. I don't know, maybe it's nothing, but that was the first question that came to my mind. But generally, in terms of the food, I'm always there for love and for food. So that's something beautiful about Kazakh wedding tradition. It's beautiful dance, beautiful attires, and yeah, that's it. And one difference again is the fact that a large percentage of men there wear suits. So there was this wedding I went to, my first wedding. I was like, who is the groom? Because the groom also wears suits, then all the men also wear suits. I'm from Nigeria, and the only person allowed to wear suits on the wedding day is maybe the groom and his best man, so two, or maybe the pastors if you're Christian. So it's kind of strange to me to see a large percentage of men wear suits. My number 6 point is the fact that Kazakhstan is a seasonal, or let me say fruits and some vegetables are seasonal. Food plant vegetables like watermelon, melon, corn, or what else I'm trying to remember some. Maybe tomatoes, although they try to save tomatoes for winter. But food or vegetables like this, you get to see them seasonally. For example, now it's summertime, we have corn, watermelons are coming out, what's it called? Melons are also coming out. So you get to enjoy them during this time. And as the season, once it's towards September, October, September, you probably see corn living or getting more expensive. So this gives the joy, because I'm from Nigeria also, where we wait for mango season, cashew season, uh, different seasons, and it's usually the joy that, oh, this stuff are here. You don't get to take them for granted, and that's one beautiful thing I love about Kazakhstan. You shouldn't just have everything there. Let's know the season. Oh, we're in this season. It makes these seasons unique to me. That's one beautiful thing I love about that. Kazakhstan is also a family-oriented country. I have been to schools where I see a large percentage of people going to get children being grandparents. Grandparents are so much involved in their children's lives, and they get to help them with their day-to-day activities while their children maybe pursue their careers, and that is beautiful to watch. I have seen grandparents interact with me when I walk in the parks and I see them living with their children. It's something I enjoy. It's something I love to see. And I think there's an unwritten law. A student of mine told me that there's actually an unwritten law that the last child gets to live with the grandparents. A lot of people probably don't practice that, but that is what I heard, and it's not confirmed. That's what I'm saying. But it's so beautiful seeing people come together, families, even traveling on holidays together. That's the beauty of the country. This number 8 point is something I took note of coming into Kazakhstan for the first time. Well, like, let me say my first year in Kazakhstan. And it's not a general Kazakhstan thing. I think it's a specific bank thing. I have two bank accounts in Kazakhstan, and there's a specific bank called Kaspi. This is not an advert. That once I have your phone number also serves as your bank account number, which makes life easy. So if I want to send number to you, as long as I have you on WhatsApp, the only thing I need to say is this also your Kaspi number? Once I say that, yes, and this occurs maybe 90% of the time, it's usually their Kaspi or bank account number. You don't have to stress yourself memorizing bank account number like I used to. I think I still remember my Nigerian bank account after 5 years. And that takes me to number 9, which is surprising, which is also the tipping culture in Kazakhstan. I'll be safe to say that there is no tipping culture in Kazakhstan. There's nothing like, it's not expected. Let me put it that way. It's not expected. When you go to restaurants or maybe you get some services, they don't look forward to you giving them something in return, especially as extra on the service fee demanded or something. Even I know some places back in Nigeria that if you don't tip enough, you might not enjoy your consequent services, because they might just not give you that attention because you were not a giving client. So you just get to see situations or places where once you get there and you see the way they treat the client or the customer, you know this is a tipping client. But here in Kazakhstan, it's totally different. Tipping or not, you are served the same way. I must say I didn't notice this until, let's say, my 3rd or 4th year into living in Kazakhstan. I was always going to restaurants with cash and putting it on the table. While living, I didn't have to wait till they see the cash. So I didn't get to see their reaction saying, who is this person? But I think I was opportunity to go to a restaurant with a friend, and he said, there's no need. It's on the service charge. And also, I think there was a time I didn't have cash, and I told this waiter to give me his account number to send him the tip. And he was like, for what? I said, tip. And the word tip was kind of strange to him. So, Kazakhstan, well done. Or let me say Asia, well done. I don't know, but well done. That's a big kudos to you. And my last point, which is number 10, is the fact that some, or let me say a large number of Kazakhs are not used to Africans. By Africans, I mean black people in the city. Now, this is not coming from a racist or a bad place. This is just coming from a curiosity aspect. There was a time I went to a mall to shop, and there was this kid with the mom. Immediately the kid saw me, he or she, I don't know, it's a baby, just baby, I don't know, shouted to the mom, Mama, черный человек. Черный человек means mom, a black person. And he said it with the most curiosity, with this askance face, like, what? So for you to know how innocent kids are, and I just busted into laughter, and the mom was petrified. The woman was telling the child to just keep quiet and stop talking. And these are some situations we see all around when what's it called? Children, especially children, teenagers, when they see you for the first time, they react in a way like, oh, really? You sometimes might get long stares, but you should know that this is not just about you. Even natives get long stares. Yeah, I have had teenagers talk to me about the elderlies staring at them. So if you're the kind of person that you're bodily conscious, you might not enjoy that. But generally, it's always from the place of what? Not from the place of what? So do you understand? If you understand what I'm trying to say. Generally, Kazakhs are beautiful people. And I must say that I don't know if other foreigners have had experiences in terms of racism, but personally I haven't, in a way. And yeah, so I can't relate with anything so far. So if this story changes, I definitely will be back. But for now, none of that. And these are the 10 points I think I still remember when it comes to my experience in Kazakhstan. Maybe they get to change in the nearest future, or I get to add more. For 5 years in Kazakhstan, I've got 10 beautiful talking points to talk about, and I hope you take anyone that's salty with a bit, with a grain of salt. I mean no harm, just to talk about my experience. And maybe when I hop on the podcast, I get to talk better about other things happening in the country. So thanks for having me here. And if you haven't seen my previous video about apps to survive Kazakhstan, check it out. And I hope to see you in my other videos. Goodbye and have a beautiful day.